Something that led us to making a different company is Cos kept a secret from me. He kept the secret of how the storage industry really operates and didn't tell me anything for about a year. And so we just started from a very clean perspective of how should it operate? Like, how is something you want to use going to work?
I think that really captures it. If you don't know how something's been done, you take the problem and you solve it. And you don't think about how other people solved it. You just solve what's in front of you. And you come up with some very different things. You want people who are smart. You want people who are adaptable. You want people who can learn. But you also need people you can work with. And you don't want to hire too many of your friends because then you tend to get too much of the same thinking.
I had at least a dozen candidates say, hasn't storage been solved? And that's sort of the state of the industry where the products hadn't changed in a long time.
Nobody buys storage because they want to buy storage. They buy storage because they want to do something else. It's just something that enables you. And in that sense, yeah, you talk to the average engineer coming out of school, and they probably have not grown up dreaming of going and working for a storage company. It's our job to make them dream of that. When you're a startup and you're looking for a CEO, you sort of think about, the first stage is to get sort of from 0 to 100 million. The next stage is to get from like 100 million to 1 billion. You can pick your numbers, but you think about it in those stages. If you don't pick the person who's going to be a great recruiting magnet, be a great culture fit, and get you from that 0 to 100 million, it doesn't matter how great they're going to be when you're bigger.
We were looking for a lot of attributes. I think that what we wanted in the long term was first someone we would respect as a peer. You're going out and hiring your boss. So who can you learn stuff from, and how does that apply to the rest of the company?
What was really important to us was someone who would be positive for the culture, someone who would think and be open to new ideas and new experiences, someone who'd help contribute to the product. We didn't want a figurehead. We wanted someone who'd, sort of, shall we say, pitch in and do the work.
One of the very important things we wanted in the startup within a startup is to make sure it was a real product group. And by real product group, I mean it's not a labs group, it's not a skunk works, it's not a research project, it's not something personality driven. It's something where this is a parallel group that is going to get something into a customer's hands within time. And we think that this is distinct from creating an innovation lab where there's non-product development that is separate from product development. Our stance is that you can do innovation on a product line.
The stage we're at now, this is actually a really powerful thing to expand the capabilities of the company because we're able to bring in a new team, get really, really great people, and not have to cannibalize the current team. The theory sort of is, if you know all the same stuff that I know, and you're a logical person and I'm a logical person, we'll both make logical decisions and thus decisions that are more understandable. So it's like kind of that attempting to be as open and sharing of information as possible is maybe at the root of the culture.
Our brand is friendlier, if for no other reason than most of our competitors are in a competition to be more serious than the next competitor. It's an industry that's built around seriousness. And as a new company, we're not going to be able to out-serious like 30 or 40-year-old companies. It's going to take time to earn that level of seriousness. So what we found is that a lot of our customers find it just really refreshing that we're not trying to cover anything up. We're sort of are who we are. The company is simple. We think openness extends outside the company.
I think the other thing with the brand and the team character is we really want to build a really long-term partnership with our customers. And that's another key part of it that probably helps make it more open and almost consumerish, even though it's a very enterprisey thing. You do not see people out there selling storage arrays as this sexy, flashy, hot product. Hey, buy a new storage array for your, it's like just,
Until we came along.
someday we joke about the fact that maybe we'll create an employee purchase plan for everyone who needs to buy a $50,000 storage array for their house.